Yeehaw, we're live and it is Wine Wednesday, Canadian wine lovers. Wine Wednesday. We would love to know what's in your glass, where you're tuning in from, if it's miserable winter where you are, or if you've been spared like we have here in the Okanagan. It's glorious, even in this February. We haven't had real winter here yet, have we, Carl?
We haven't. We haven't. It's yeah, exactly right. But yeah, glorious weather. It was like 10 degrees somewhere here in the Okanagan, so absolutely fantastic. And Canadian wine lovers, Carl's Wine Club members, everyone across Canada, Mira Boucher, good, happy Wednesday. Oh man, that's going to be a heck of a show because what's in front of us, that's the 1 week since we tasted all of these Fairview wines live with you guys. And these bottles, these wines have been sitting in bottles for a week now, open, and we're going to revisit them. Okay, I may have cheated a bit because I have already started to taste. And I've been tasting these wines the whole week.
We got a
Uh,
lot of wines here.
Yeah, I've been tasting them like since we opened them last Wednesday, and I see the evolution and the progression of all of these wines. And holy smokes, I have to say, this feature, this winery has the bachelor effect to me. This
Yeah.
is like this is like to me, that's exactly how I feel when I taste Thomas Batchelder's wine. Everything in the I know, right? Everything in the box was wow, holy shit. And at some point, you give so many high scores, and you're like, okay, what am I doing here? Is it is it really what? And you taste them all over and all over. And I even opened other wines just to benchmark because I was like, these scores are crazy. But holy smoke, Mira! You've been noticing that too as well. How incredible, like the quality and the flavor profile of these wines are incredible. So we're going to review that the whole show today with the owner winemaker Danielle Hutton. So Danielle is going to be joining us in 10-minute time, and that's going to be really really cool to chat a little bit more with some specific on the vineyard aspect because I want to know more. I want her to tell us more about the Golden Miles. I want you guys to learn more about one of the first AVA. Well, I say AVA, but not AVA, but sub appellation, sub appellation here in the Okanagan Valley. I want you to know more about the Golden Miles, and I want to know more about the barrel program because I mean we've been so far in the non-on oak or less oak is better spectrum over the last 10 years that we've been having those conversations a little bit more with certain member. And I'm like, I like oak. I think oak is a good thing. I think good oak is a great thing. And you get that and more here with Fairview Cellars. So Danielle's gonna talk. We're gonna talk more about the oak program. We're gonna talk about the Golden Miles, about the lineup, and a lot of good things. So yeah, if you're listening, doesn't matter where you are between Nova Scotia and Vancouver Island or Newfoundland, wherever you are across the country, let us know what's in your glass. Which kind of great Canadian wine you're tasting tonight? We have how many? Oh, I poured only five. That's disappointing.
I know last week we had all of them open. We had 12 open, you guys. We had to start late because it took so long to open and pour everything. But that's why we love what we do. Hey,
I have to say, Mira, though, I couldn't pour any of the Estate Merlot because the bottle may have been empty.
yeah, I mean,
I couldn't pour any of the 22 the bear because the bottle is definitely empty.
I know,
I
right? That's
couldn't
that's how you
pour
know if Mira liked it. Uh,
I couldn't pour any of the 15 iconoclast because
there's no way there was a drop left of that. No.
so I mean Yeah, what an incredible. And you know what? There's nothing left of the Chardonnay as well. I am reconnecting with my oaky Chardonnay. Oh, that I'm so incredibly grateful for Danielle Hutton and the oak that she throw in her wine. So yeah, I can't wait for her to be on.
Yes.
Mira, before we bring Danielle
Girl.
on, let's talk about your flavor profile, your palate a little bit, okay? Tell me among the 12 wines that we tasted over the last week, okay? The 12 Fairview Cellar. Tell me the three of them, if you remember correctly, because I know sometimes I'm bringing just a glass and like you're like, whoa, what is that, by the way? And but is there any for you that really stick out?
Oh, definitely the 15 Iconoclast, and I love Cab Sauv. I
Yeah.
gotta say, I think like my top three reds are probably Syrah, Cab Sauv, and Merlot. Um, and it's a treat to get an incredible Canadian Cab Sauv, right? They're just more rare. Like there's not that many. A lot of places have Cab Sauv for blends, but I haven't found that many super outstanding 100% Cab Sauvs, and this is like so yeah, definitely the Iconoclasts, all of them, but especially that 2015. And I loved the Merlot, the Estate Merlot. I loved the Bear. I
Yeah.
love Decorum. So pretty much like all of them. Yeah, all of them. But those ones, yeah, especially.
Okay, yeah, and if you ask me, okay, because I rated like like you guys know, right? The Iconoclast 15 is 95 points, my top three wine of the year. But I have like the Bear was definitely my holy shit. Okay, this is. I knew for a long time that the Bear was one of the iconic wine of the South Okanagan, just like Nota Bene from Black Hills, right? Just like I don't know. Give me some of some flagship wine from the South Okanagan. There's the anyway. It's any of the big flagship. The Bears was all well. Also, Yusla Rose was from from that category, right? And the Bear was always listed in the same type of category. It's the first time that I've tasted the beer. My first time ever. Yeah. Oh,
And
that
you've
with Esther
like
Creed, the
we have been at
Garland,
all
Esther
sorts of
Creed, the
tastings.
Judge.
Yeah.
You know the yeah. And at that price point, $50, right? At that price point, it is absolutely shocking how good the bear is. Holy smokes! So
I
yeah,
agree.
that's my to me. That's my okay. And yeah, it's half the price as the Iconoclast, right? So I mean, okay, yeah, there's not the same oak aging and all that, and but yeah, totally in love with the bear. And I have to
Totally.
say, yeah, the Merlot also gave me yeah, some real pleasure to taste. I had the weekend in beautiful Cache Creek or Ashcroft, northern BC this weekend with one of our two kids, and I pour some of the Merlot to the other parents, and holy smokes.
That's always the test, you know. Is it an incredible Canadian wine? Take it to a hockey tournament, and if people from all over the tournament find you and say, "Are you the guy that brought that incredible Merlot?" It's
Yeah.
passed the hockey tournament test. It means it is truly a world-class Canadian wine.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I want you, Mira, just to also give it a try to the 17 Iconoclast. I mean,
So many glasses here. Okay, so
I
I
know
see
you see a 1.7 on
it
on your
just says
glass.
17 on it. This is
Yeah,
this one. Okay, 17.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Perfect. Ooh, I love it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what? Danielle is actually in the green
Is
room.
she? We have so much to
Yes,
talk about. But my
totally.
point to you was it's still a little baby. That 17 Iconoclast is so young.
Yeah, she's just warning us there might be some sound difficulty at first, but we'll sort it out if need be. I'll go into the green room. Hopefully
That's
it'll
all
all
good.
be good. But yeah, this is
Yeah.
the 17 Iconoclast. So I'm excited because I haven't tasted this one. You've been tasting them every day, but we opened this one a week ago, last Wine
Yeah,
Wednesday, when we were
yeah,
chatting with you guys, the 17 Iconoclast, and it was really a baby. And we knew that because the next day it got better, and then the next day it
yeah.
got even better. And so we're like, okay, it's just getting started.
Because if you taste 16 and 17 alongside each other, 16 now after a week open,
Oh, that's nice.
I know, right? But it's still tannic. It's still now the 16 after a week open.
Oh, sorry,
Feels
wrong 16. I was drinking the Madcap 16. No, I know the other,
MC
but I
16.
was
Yeah,
drinking
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
17.
yeah. Not
There's
MC
so
16.
many 16s, 17s, 15s. I mean, like, we're so spoiled.
And also, before we bring Danielle in, I want to talk about the member pricing, because it's the first time that we're launching our new collector club, the new collector member, and such a great, like, an amazing timing that Danielle was willing to give us special member pricing for the two mini vertical, and substantial. Holy smokes! When I was texting with her, talking to her last weekend when I was away, and I asked for, hey, can we do a little member pricing? She gave me a number. I was like, what? Holy smokes! So we're really, really, really excited to pass along this incredible saving for our collector members, and yeah,
Some
a
people
lot
were
of fun.
saving like, and there's a typo on our form. Hey,
Is
it's like a
there?
$90 savings. Yeah, it says it's like $86. I have to fix that after, but it's like $90.
Yeah.
Anyway, Danielle's in the green room. She might hear all this rejoicing over the amazing
The-
savings and be like, you know what? Let's turn that off tomorrow. That's a lot. Nah,
I know,
she's
right?
nice. I don't think she'll do that. But Lorna, you're so right. Not ever such a thing as too many glasses to taste. That's correct. I love it.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I'm gonna bring in pictures later as well, because we were at Fairview Cellars. But I want to start with this one, and then let's bring Danielle on. She's the winemaker at Fairview and the owner. And her husband, Dermot, is the viticulturist. So it's an incredible duo, and they make these wines. The wines that we're talking about, the 15s, 16s, George here from West Kelowna is totally right to say that they were made by the former owner, the original owner, Bill Eggert, who's a bit of a legend in the wine industry around here, because he was bold enough to say, no, we can do Cab Sauv, we can do Merlot, we can do all these things, like way before most people thought that was possible. And I just wanted to show these vines. This place has deep history in the Canadian wine industry. Like, look at these vines that were planted on their estate. They're super thick. Like, many times you see the vines and they're like, just like that. These are like massive vines. So yeah, we'll show more pictures from our little visit later. There's also some very cute dogs.
Sure.
But let's bring Danielle Hutton on. It's so great to have her here. Danielle, hey, nice to see you. Nice to see you. I'll give you a second to unmute there. Yeah, so we were down just before Christmas down at Fairview, visited. Well, we stopped by because the intro we had to your wines, Danielle, is when we were doing our Advent calendar.
That's right.
And she let us have access to that 2015 Iconoclast Cab Sauv in the Advent calendar.
Which made it all the way up to number 3 on our top 10 wine of the year. So, yeah.
Those iconoclasts are definitely something to behold. It's a fantastic, consistent wine. Bill made it for a lot of years, and it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. It shows exactly what Cab Sauv can do in the South Okanagan, and I'm so glad that we had it to share with you.
And I think it was such a great introduction. I mean, when you start with the best, you're like, okay, yes. I want more of that. Bring me more, bring me more, bring me more. Yeah. And I mean, this feature just allowed me to dig deeper in your portfolio and understand a little bit more about stylistically what you guys are about, and we're going to talk about it a little bit later on. But Danielle, first and foremost, it's Wednesday night. You're a busy mom, you're a busy entrepreneur, so I want to say thank you for joining us. This is absolutely amazing. We're so excited to showcase your wine across the and you have some Chardonnay in your
I
glass.
do, yeah.
That's the first bottle that I ran out. Okay,
Yeah.
that's the first bottle that I ran out. I have to say. So now we're really grateful to have you on for the next 45 minutes or so. But first and foremost, I would like to start to for you to tell us a little bit more about the story of Fairview Cellar. How, when did you join the team? The whole transition, the progression. You bought the place with your husband. So, because I mean, Bill Eggert, the former owner,
Yeah.
was not a nobody.
No.
He's part of the right?
Absolutely not. No,
He's
like
not.
one of the original instigators of everything good wine in the Okanagan. And what an amazing position to be in, that I got to work with him and learn from him, and hopefully carry on the tradition of great wines from our site. So yeah, we my husband and I moved up here to Oliver in 2016, and we're partners in a brewery. And Bill used to come in, and I got to know him. I was behind the bar pouring beer often, and we decided that we were going to leave that venture and start something or do something else. And I met with my friend Sandra, who we all know and love as well, and she kind of said, "Hey, do you want to go to a winery? Would you see yourself being a GM of a winery?" I was a sommelier. I worked in restaurants all over the world for most of my life, so I came from wine from that side, and I was definitely excited about it. And then I found out it was Bill. We met up and had a chat, and he hired me, and I started working at the end of 2019, and just basically was his shadow. Just hung out with him. He did everything, right? Like, he did all the vineyard work with the help of Fern, who we're lucky enough stayed on and still works with us. And he made the wine, and we poured concrete, and we fixed irrigation, and we did all the things. And during COVID was interesting being there. That was the beginning of that foray of our relationship really working together. And it gave me a real chance to really get my hands dirty and get right into everything. Coming from the hospitality side of life, not being a farmer before, really by any stretch of the imagination, it was really quite an exceptional start to be able to really focus on being out there and being in it every single day and learning from him. It was pretty magical. And he was looking to move on and retire and go watch Northern Lights and go for trips across Canada and all those things. And Dermot really loved it as well, my husband. He came up in 2021, and Bill taught him how to take care of the vineyard and taught him the tractor and did all those things. And then the sale was finalized at the beginning of 2022. So yeah, it was pretty amazing. But Bill he planted in 93, first vintage was like 96. I go through, we have this unbelievable, I think I showed you, some of our spaces where we have wine, and Bill always has the foresight to hold on to these, and back in the day, people said you couldn't age BC wines. And I think a lot of it for him was, I'm going to show you. Yes, we can. And, we had some 2004 Merlot cabs that I found in the back, and we tried them, and honest to God, they were still like really.
I have no doubt about that, Danielle. I have absolutely no doubt. I had the privilege to taste some of the Tin Horn back like to 1996, 1997, and these wines are still shining. So, I mean, no doubt. And the way that Bill made the wine, yeah, no brainer. We know that these wines are still holding the road,
No.
like nice and tight.
Yeah.
So okay, so that's a beautiful story. So 2022, you guys finalized, and at that point, Bill was stepping back,
Yes.
and 22 was your first vintage on your own.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you were well served. Mother Nature gave you something pretty fun to work with. I mean, 2022 was a very well balanced,
Yeah.
good vintage to work with, right?
Absolutely. I mean, for us, we made some decisions at the beginning of the season of 2022. I don't know if you remember that beginning of 2022. That spring was quite cold, quite rainy.
Yeah.
And lasted for quite a long time. It was a really important vintage for personally for me and for Dermot, being the first vintage that we were standing on our own 2 feet. That this was everything, we were putting everything into this. And it was really important to us that we made sure that whatever we put in the bottle was the quality that lovers of Fairview would expect. And so early in that season, we dropped a lot of bunches to get concentration. So we didn't have a bumper crop year in 2022. We actually had a very lean year as far as yields went, because we really focused on making sure that the grapes that we were getting, because who knew what the fall was going to be like? And yes, the gods came out and said,
yeah,
here's a
exactly,
great
right?
fall, but we weren't going to bank on that, right? We wanted to really make sure that 22 vintage was the absolute best that we could make it. So the concentration, I'm proud, I'm happy with the concentration of flavors that we got out of those grapes.
I mean, so you're like, to me, it's your first year with the business. You need to make money, and the first decision you make it's to go and drop fruit. I mean, like, wow, that's the. But the one thing though that I can put myself in your shoes is the followers, the members, the people who were used to Fairview Cellars at a standard.
That's right.
They had you were facing a benchmark that you couldn't go under. So I mean the decision was like, okay, well, let's drop the fruit, let's focus on the final result no matter what.
Exactly.
Mother Nature rewarded you pretty well, because the fall of 2022 allowed you to produce, to really ripen the Cab, the Merlot, because it was a very, very late fall, and it ended up to be an outstanding vintage.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, like all of the feedback that I've had from the 2022 vintage, we're sold out of the 22 Two Hoots, and the 22 Bucket of Blood was the last time that was made. I kept a couple of cases just for the future. And the 22 Cab Franc as well. They sold really, really quickly. And the feedback on those wines that was that they were what people would expect from Fairview. So I was happy with that feedback.
So you were right on track. That is awesome. Because where's this one here? The Estate Merlot. Okay, well, we're still on 21 for the Estate Merlot. You're gonna move on to 22 sometime soon. But for us, what we have here from 2022, that's the Decorum, that's the Bear.
Yeah.
Which that's the wine that I wanted to talk a little bit, but let's talk about the Bear 22 a little later, because
Okay.
more I taste it, more I'm just like, oh my god, this is so good. Oh, I love that wine so much. But I want to talk about the site, because you have a very special site. So you are tucked in above the valley. You're right by the golf course in Oliver, the Fairview Golf Course. And let's talk about sorry, let's talk about your site and like precisely and the Golden Mile, because the Golden Mile was one of the first sub appellation that the VQA has allowed way back. And what, because we have a lot of listener out east, so I would like you to tell us what makes the Golden Mile special.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just put as my background, can you see the photo?
Yeah.
Okay, so this was a photo taken by one of our guests who came with his wife for her birthday, and they were having a picnic out on the patio. And he brought his drone and he asked if he could take some photos. And I said, of course, yeah. And then he sent me this photo. So this is, for anybody who doesn't know, that's our site. So it's really unique. Around the edge of it is the Fairview Mountain Golf Course. And so we're the northern tip of the Golden Mile Bench. So the Golden Mile Bench, of course, alluvial soils, a little glacial situation, some sandiness. Being where we are, as you can see, like there is no shade, there are no frost pockets. We are just on this perfectly little placed plateau that gives such a spectacular area to grow grapes. Because, you know, I was speaking with a gentleman about this yesterday who came for a tasting, and just the lack of pressure from outside is so limited on a site like this. So we can really, instead of really focusing on making sure that, you know, the powdery mildew is at bay and these things, and we take all of these things very seriously. But when we're talking about disease pressures and all of those things, it doesn't have to take up too much of our mind space when we're dealing with a growing season. I'm knocking on a lot of wood right now.
No doubt, right? No doubt.
But it means that we can really focus on what's best for the plants and individually. And being on this site, and it's not huge, it's, you know, 9 acres. And so we can be out there, and we really have the time and the energy to be able to spend the time with each plant in the vineyard. But this was, I mean, you can see how it was basically cut out by glacial movements in the forming of this whole area. It's just a spectacular site. So we grow Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, Merlot, Petit Verdot. I've got a row of Malbec now and Sauvignon Blanc on the vineyard. So yeah,
you got a row of Malbec, eh? When did you plant that?
Well, we unfortunately with the freeze, the 24 vintage, we didn't have any grapes, and that took out all of our Cabernet Sauvignon. So we had to replant all of the Cab Sauv. We did that at the beginning of last year. And we decided with that, we changed the clone of Cabernet Sauvignon that we had in the vineyard to this clone that I've had, single clone, single varietals from some wineries in Washington State that just use that clone. And I was very happy with the wines that I was tasting. So I was, you know, bringing it to our site. I'm looking forward to the wines that I'll be able to make with that Cab Sauv. So, but we decided in that replant to really get that last big Bordeaux varietal, right, and keep that to ourselves. So we'll see. So
1993. So that's when Bill planted the original vineyard. So now that means 7 plus 26. We're 33 years in.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So so when we talk, can we explain a little bit about what's the maturity of the vines will provide to the grapes?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of conversation about that, right? Age of vines can tend to produce smaller berries and more concentrated flavors. The other thing is really our site does that as well. It lends the Golden Mile Bench, the heat, the cold nights, all of those things, because we're a desert, and we're also we also have that really great range of hot and cold for day to night. So it keeps the berries small as well. You know, we don't have a lot of new vines on the vineyard. All of the vines that we're working with are upwards of 15 to 20 years old. And, you know, the original vines that were on there were in 93, didn't plant it all in one go. And I mean, the wines, as you've tasted yourself, are really concentrated. That has something to do with the farming, that has something to do with the canopy management, that has something to do with the style of making the wine, with barrel aging, all of those things. So I think that the old vines are amazing. I'm excited to see what these new vines are going to produce as well.
I mean, now you're going to be able to mix vigorous, like some wines who wants to produce more, the younger, the feisty vines with the more mature, vines, which going to give you a little bit more to play with. That is really interesting. But what I say to people, like when we talk about older vines, and to me, it's about length and complexity, right?
Yeah.
I feel like the older vine will provide you with a little bit more soil aspect, a little bit more dirt aspect, some complexity, some minerality on the back end.
They've grown up with that soil, so they've taken something from that terroir that a young vine hasn't really been able to bring into itself as of yet, right? Yeah, I get that for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. So now, on your side, you have the Bordeaux varietals. And what is the star? Not the star. What is the main grape that you grow on the estate?
Well, it's been pretty evenly. Well, Cabernet Sauvignon has been the star of our vineyard for a very long time. It was, I don't want to speak for Bill, but Cab was his real love. So I think everything else was kind of created to be a partner to that Cabernet.
A compliment to the Cab Sauv. He was a true left bank Bordeaux, right?
Yeah, exactly. But you know, Merlot, as you know, you've noted in that 21 Merlot, Merlot on our vineyard site grows so beautifully, and it's so rich and so structured, and for me, I'm becoming more of a Cab Franc lover. I've had some amazing Canadian Cab Francs outside of Fairview. I think Cab Franc gave me hope and heart. Like when in these cold winters, it's really shown its resilience and its strength. And the 25 Cab Franc that I just barreled down a month ago, I'm so happy with the fruit that we got off of it. We don't get, we get more of that round, rich, fruit forward style of Cab Franc with that spiciness. And it's just, it's starting to be my heart, but I have to wait to see about this new Cab Sauv that's coming. I don't want to pick favorites of my babies yet.
Yeah, that's it, right? Yeah. So I mean, I had that conversation so many times, especially because out east, Cab Franc in Niagara is such a rock star.
Yeah.
And I had the privilege to taste some Cab Franc from Nova Scotia. Benjamin Bridge owned a 3-acre vineyard right on the cliff of the Bay Fundy. And on the right vintage, which they make rosé with every year. But on the good vintage, they are able to make a full-on red Cab Franc.
Right.
So all the way out east, and like more and more I taste BC Cab Franc, I realize that, man, maybe that it is the cross Canadian red grape varietals who can grow, I would say, more consistently year in and year out, depending on what Mother Nature provides. You get a little different style from different region, but holy smoke that we can produce amazing Cab Franc across the country.
Yeah. And it's always the grape too. Like when I'm walking in the vineyard, and I know that it's not consistent everywhere, but, and maybe it's just at its placement in our vineyard. It's the first little fuzzy bud that I see. It's the first little flower that I see, you know? So it's like the Cab Franc starts and it's like, oh, it's coming. They're coming, and it's, you know, it's we're getting there. The babies are growing, and
the Annunciation, the Christ is coming.
Yeah.
Okay, Danielle, I'm a Chardonnay freak. Okay, and we have a lot of Chardonnay lover across the country in our club. Let's talk a little bit about your Chardonnay. For a long time, like, I mean, like, we have the old school big bold oaky Chardonnay. The American took it to the next level with Rumbauer and like the Chateau 2x4 where the over extracted. Yeah, and the Chardonnay reputation just plunged, and so many people became, oh, I like on oak Chardonnay. And I think it went so far on the other end of the spectrum that I got sick and tired of the on oak Chardonnay. I still like my oak. When I cracked open your Chardonnay, I was like, there you go. God bless Fairview Cellars. So let's talk about your chard. Do you grow the chard on site or this?
No,
Whoops.
no, the Chardonnay doesn't grow on site. I purchased the grapes for that 22 Chardonnay from Surinder Dhaliwal. You can almost see, like when you're looking off the edge of our vineyard there, you can almost see him. He's just around the corner. He's down on what is known as the Golden Mile slopes. So just a little ways away from us. So,
and that's why that's why the on the bottle you're not Golden Mile, VQA Golden Mile, you're VQA Okanagan Valley.
Exactly, because he's Golden Mile slopes.
There you go. That makes sense. So harvest.
So, harvest 2022 was fantastic. He grew beautiful Chardonnay, and being so close, it was great. I could go test it all the time. We picked it exactly when I wanted to pick it. And I did some barrel ferment. I like to do a little bit of barrel ferment on all of our whites. I just like that the mouthfeel that it tends to give. I use not new barrels, of course, neutral barrels, but I did a little bit of barrel ferment on the Chardonnay, and then the rest was steel tank ferment. And then I blended it all and barreled it all down. So then it all went into barrel. And it was a good percentage of new French oak. And then nothing is overly old. I didn't use much old, I think 3 years. So twice used oak was the oldest I used. I didn't want it to be too oaky. In fact, I potentially was going to leave it longer. If anybody who knows me personally and has been to the vineyard knows that I have potentially consumed a lot of this Chardonnay. And when it was aging, I spent a good amount of time with it to make sure that it was exactly what I wanted it to be. And 2022, that the oak integration happened with the new French oak quite quickly. So I was really tasting it and making sure that it didn't get too oaky. I wanted a little bit of those characteristics that you're getting, you know, that nice toastiness, that vanilla, that little bit of caramel, all of those, the beautiful wood notes that you get from that, but I didn't want it to be like chewing on a piece of wood. And I wanted that fruit because that fruit was spectacular. And so I really wanted that to be able to shine through. So I hope that,
and it sure does. I gave it a 92 plus. I love that. It's just like, it's a little moment of like, go back in time a little bit, right? I think I feel like if we went back 20 years ago, which was the classic style of what we used to, and yeah, I mean, and you don't do any wild ferment. You do all. There's no wild ferment there.
No.
I didn't. No, so there you go. So I really like it. Well, beautiful structure too. This wine is built to age. I would say easily 10 years, right? Would you agree with the 10-year aging potential? No problem.
I would agree. Again, I have a little familiarity with this wine, and I'm finding that it's getting better and better the longer it's aging, which makes me happy as well. You know, the 21 was a similar style. It's not under cork, it's under Coravin, so it's aging differently, but I'm finding that is aging nicely as well. And I think that, I think you're right. I think a 10-year on this would be just fine. Yeah.
Do you so that's a very nice point that you just made. So you went back to cork from 21 in Stelvin back to cork. Do you mind sharing your thought process?
Okay. You and I have had this conversation before. I am my background, of course, is restaurants. There is something in my head that when a wine can age and can breathe, and I apologize to any of those Stelvin lovers out there, and I do use Stelvin for certain wines, but those wines that I think have great aging potential, and also just have a feel of elegance to me before I bottle them, I just want it to have a cork. I remember the first time working in a restaurant and going up to a table with my corkscrew and standing and talking.
The linen on your arm.
Yeah, and doing the whole
thing. And you go and
it's like, what is happening here?
I know, right?
And then
right?
And trying to figure out, once you get used to this, how do I make this not look, because we had been taught in that mindset of that was part of the experience, that opening that bottle was part of the experience of sharing this. And
I don't know, and I'm 100% with you as wine director and as a maitre d'. That 3 to 5 minutes that you open the wine, that's how you know that the guest, the patron at the table, right? You have time, you can ask questions, and I know what you mean. And now you get to the table with your linen and you do and what do? Do you smell the cap? Do you put it in front of that, or you just throw it behind your shoulder? Right?
It's such an old school mentality, and I know that I'm gonna have to get out of it. I know that, you know, there's a lot of reasons. Both are good. But there is just that part of me that is still attached to that experience.
Hey, guess what? I'm just looking. I'm just kind of visualizing your accountant and first vintage that you're on. You drop fruit at the beginning of the year and you switch Stelvin back to cork. Yeah, these are good financial decisions.
Yeah.
But I have to thank you because the wines are so darn good.
Thank you. That's the most important. And I know that that's the most important thing too, right? Is that the wine in the bottle has to be the best wine that I can make. And what that means to me is just having the best grapes. If we don't grow it ourselves, getting to know the growers that we're buying from, working in tandem, making sure that we have that kind of relationship, that I can be on that vineyard whenever I want to, however long I want to be, doing samples, testing, making that decision. No, we pick today, like it's ready today,
Yeah.
and being able to do that. That being a small estate family run winery, that's one of the perks that we have. And I think it's important to take advantage of that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, what is the percentage of fruit that you buy versus estate fruit?
Well, usually it's only about 20%.
Yeah.
And really, I only ever buy what I can almost see, like I've only ever bought fruit from the South Okanagan. The farthest, like this last year, with a grower that I've worked with for a few years now that I just love to death. His name is Pavan Sikon. They have beautiful vineyards down in Osoyoos and organic vineyards, and they're always just gorgeous. And they're such a wonderful family. And I made a sparkling wine this year.
What?
Yeah, I know. I'm very excited. From Pinot Noir, from Caledon. So it's on the hillside facing the lake. So
Yep.
that's the farthest that I've gone for purchasing grapes was Caledon, but it was Pavan, and so I was happy to buy that fruit from him. But yeah.
So hold on here, okay? So you Pinot Noir sparkling. So you're making a Blanc Noir.
Well, it's Pinot Noir and Chardonnay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, from the same source of of that's what you have, a different source for your shirt?
No, it's a different, because all of that Chardonnay from the 22 from Surrender's vineyard, unfortunately, didn't make it.
Darn it!
I know.
Darn it!
So Pavan has Chardonnay down in Osoyoos, right near the border on the hillside there. So I bought. This is the first time that I'm buying Chardonnay from him and Pinot from him. Again, I loved the fruit, and I wanted to make. That's what I wanted to make a sparkling from. I wanted to do a Pinot Noir forward with Chardonnay sparkling wine. So
okay, and you're doing traditional method, or you go? Charmat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's interesting. So, okay, man, we can be on until 9 tonight.
Okay.
Like I can see Mira on the other hand, like just like, oh my God, Carl, let's get going here.
Sorry.
Okay, so that's a little bit about your site.
Yeah.
Let's go and we talk about the Chardonnay. So I would like to start because I was a big fan, Mira also, of the Estate Merlot. I would like to talk quickly about the Estate Merlot, and let's go the Bear and the Decorum quickly because both are 22 vintage and they are amazing. So Estate Merlot, you have on the out of the 9 acres, you have a 2.5, 3 acres of Merlot.
Exactly. Yeah, about that. Yeah, exactly. And for a long time, the Merlot just went into what we called the M2, which was a shorter barrel aging time. It was generally mixed with a Merlot that was purchased from another vineyard as well. So it was both. We used the Estate Merlot primarily for the Bear and the Two Hoots. But the Merlot on our site was so spectacular, we decided to do an Estate Merlot. And so have more new French oak, and for that longer length of time aging in barrel as well to give it that oomph for a lifetime. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this was like the moment that I poured it in the glass, I could smell like the oak and the chocolate and like the plum. I'm like, oh my God, I love it. And 2021 was quite a challenging vintage because of the heat dome, right?
So,
You had such a crazy high temperature as early. It was
yeah,
early in the year,
yeah.
so that created like for you, the farmers, like you'd have never faced that. Do we irrigate? Do we water the vineyard? What the heck do we do, right?
Oh, and working in the vineyard in that period of time, it was like you had to be out there at 4 o'clock in the morning. Like after 11 o'clock, being in the vineyard was just suicide. It was crazy. It was so hot. So doing anything, it was 21 was definitely an interesting year.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we got a wine with a little higher alcohol, 15 and a half. But I mean, for people who love big, bold, and juicy wine, this is all there. I have a very funny story. I'll be quick. Of 21, I'm driving down. Okay, we used to live on Shannon Lake in West Kelowna when we moved from Alberta. I had to go pick up a box of sample at Tinhorn Creek. Okay, so I drive. And I left home, I think it was like something like 41 degrees, literally. Like it was so hot. And I'm going down to Oliver. And when I driving down and beautiful Highway 97, some of the part is just one lane, right? And by the lake, near Summerland here, there's a roadblock because there's a bushfire on the side, and there's a bunch of trucks parked. So I'm stuck in the car at 40 something degrees. And the driver truck, we just moved to the Okanagan. The driver for the truck in front of me, walk out of the truck, take his clothes off. He's in underwear, go jump in the lake, across the street, and come back. And I'm sitting there in the air conditioner. I'm like, what the heck is happening here?
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, I was like, what just happened? The guy just ran across the street in his underwear, jump in the lake, and come back. Wow, that was awesome. So anyway, I made it down to Oliver at Tinhorn. After there, I was maybe because of the roadblock, 2.5 hours in the car, the air conditioning. When I opened the door, my thermometer was saying 52 degrees.
Yeah.
That's how hot it was. 52 degree down at Tinhorn Creek that day. I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
The feeling of like getting hit by a truck, literally.
Yeah.
How hot it was.
It was awful.
Yeah. So that's the interesting 2021. But I give that wine, here's the proof, 93 plus points. I think it's the very top Merlot that I had from 2023, from 2021 vintage. Incredible structure, and it's still there's a nice point of acidity in that wine.
Yes.
I mean, you're high in alcohol, you're bold, you're rich, but there's some acid who would keep everything lifted. So this is a wine, maybe 8 years that you would.
Yeah. I can't remember what I put on the back of the bottle. We always have the better after dates. I've kept doing that as well. And just kind of tasting and while we're getting ready. And, it's always hard to know exactly, but definitely, I think 8 years would be fine with that one.
Yeah. And what's the new oak in there? Like a good chunk of new oak?
Yeah, I think it was more than 50%. If I remember correctly, yeah.
I think if Mira's still on the other room, maybe she has the sheet. You were kind enough to send me all of that info. Hey, she was such a big fan of the Merlot. I have to say, Danielle, I know Mira scores on all the glasses go down, and every time that I poured some Merlot compared to the other one, it's always been the first glass to get empty.
I do love the Merlot. I do. Which what stat are you looking for? I'm just going to
Estate Merlot 21.
Estate Merlot. I'm just going to open our page because we put all the text info that we knew into the tasting notes here. One sec. I have like 3 rapid fire questions too for you, Danielle, before you go. I'm going to put you in a hot seat. Mira question. But yeah, so I
should have had more Chardonnay.
Well, you have time to crack another bottle if you want.
Did we know the oak on the Estate Merlot?
I did put it in there. I could find it.
Yeah, you know what? It's on the It's on the order sheet right here. Estate Merlot, Estate Merlot. 20 months and 55% new French oak.
There you go. I'm asking because we have some big Merlot fan, and often I get some requests. Hey, Carl, like how much new oak it's in there. So that's why I was asking. Okay, so this is for the Estate Merlot. Let's talk about the Bear. Because the Bear has been one of the iconic wine of South Okanagan for many years. And I taste that 2022, the Bear more. And this is very polite. I fucking love that wine. Holy smokes. So Mira, can you throw me the blend? Exactly the percentage. So
of the Bear. So
yes.
you give it 94 plus points, which I mean, 95 points, I think only like twice a year do we encounter a wine like that.
Yeah, exactly.
94 plus is right up there. So yeah, the Bear, it's Merlot, Cab Franc, Petit Verdot.
Merlot, Cab Franc, Petit Verdot. There you go. Thank you. So Danielle, tell me what's
more Cab Sauv. Cab Sauv is Cab Sauv, Merlot, Cab Franc, and Petit Verdot. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I got that. Cab Sauv, Merlot, Cab Franc.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. I'll add Cab Sauv on our list. There.
Because it's Cab Sauv dominant, right? That's your leading grape. That's your leading grape in the Bear. There you go. Exactly. And are you more around the 40% Cab Sauv, or you are a little?
Yeah, this was a little bit more than 40% Cab Sauv, I believe. Yeah.
There you go. That's awesome. So what's your approach? Is the Bear for you is the flagship? Is it the wine that you would say that's my flagship wine?
It is. It's the wine that everybody knows. It's now, again, the Bear is going to be vintage specific, right?
It's not a recipe, right? It's not like you have a recipe and we're going to follow that every year. That's not how you work.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of our wines work. It's just whatever works together in whatever percentages is what's going to happen. So everything gets fermented separately, barreled down separately, and then blending time comes and it's tasting out of barrels. And I have my little jam jars because I find they work the best. With green tape on the top so that I know which barrel everything has come from. And then I'll just get everything together and it's like, okay, well, we know it's going to be Cab Sauv dominant. How Cab Sauv dominant is it going to be? Let's figure that out. Let's taste how much, what is the new oak adding? What's the Merlot that's been in new oak adding compared to what the Cab Sauv that's been in new oak adding? And so that's a really fun couple weeks because it takes a while because, it's a lot of barrels to taste, but it's a lot of fun. And so it's always Cab Sauv dominant. It's our biggest Bordeaux style wine. It again is like that 22 to 25 month barrel aging program. It tends to see a good amount of new French oak because that's some of the power of it as well. So so it's definitely one that I spend a lot of time and focus on to create.
And when you say go ahead, Mira.
Oh no. I have side conversations. That's why I go off the screen because people message me directly. Daryl just messaging me something funny. So side conversation. Rob
when you see a good amount of oak, we're looking more 40%, 45%. That's the
Yeah. When we're talking about oak, the idea of oak, I think I shared this with you. In Dermot's mind, it would be 100% oak, French oak, but that's a little bit too rich for my blood in more ways than one. So it's
that's the one that the accountants say no. Enough is enough.
So it's hard, like too much new oak makes it more difficult to to wrap your head around earlier, like that's why the Iconoclast with that super high percentage to 100% new French oak, it's in barrel for 3 years. So it's had aging time. And then we keep it for 6 years before we release it. That 2015 is a new release vintage, right?
Yeah. So 16 and 17 are not even in the thinking to be with.
No, they're pre-release. Yeah. So they've never seen the light of day before because that huge intensity new French oak gives it so much that it needs time to, come together and find its own path. So I like the new oak, but I definitely think it needs to be balanced out with more bright fruit, neutral aging.
Yeah, I think you're bang on that. You're absolutely bang on. And that's funny, with 16 and 17 Iconoclast, I just gave Mira just before the show. I said, that's 17. It's still a baby. And it's like this wine, you lay that down for a while, and oh my God, because 15 is starting like starting to get there, right? It's plush, it's rich, and 16 is closer to 15, and 17, I'm like, whoa, okay, this needs to sit there, and like we're 9 years in. That is just it's crazy. That's awesome. Awesome. Hey, just the decorum, quick, because that's the one who's almost empty tonight. This has been over a week. Okay, this has been open for over a week. This wine travel on the car floors all the way to Cache Creek and come back. Okay, and it still drink like a charm. I mean, how can you kill that one? This is impossible. I tried everything and it's still drinking perfectly. Wow. Tell me a little bit more. So you have the Bear, which is the full Bordeaux, and Decorum is more of a split of Cab Sauv and Merlot.
Correct. So the Decorum, the 2022 vintage, is mostly Merlot with Cab Sauv. The Decorum came as I wanted to do something that was truly mine. And so it's vintage specific. So it might not even be the same varietals in 2025. It's whatever I feel.
It's more of barrel selection?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. It's like, I really like this. It's a lot of, the playing with the Bear, playing with the Decorum kind of at the same time. Okay, let's make 2 wines that are the best wines that I can make out of the barrels that have been created, and let's do something. So that's a play with, okay, I love these. This is my favorite thing from this vintage.
Okay, so it's more of your artistic style, of your artistic side who's coming out, because now you're designing these wines in your head while you're tasting, and you're putting stuff aside to blend together. I love it. Is Decorum? Oh, go ahead.
It's not coming from any previous idea of what a wine is supposed to be that is made at Fairview Cellars. It's just like, it's not the Two Hoots. People have expectations on the Two Hoots. People have expectations on the Bear. The Decorum is just something different.
Is it a new wine on the portfolio, or something that Bill used to make as well, or is it?
No, it's just I started making it in from the 2021 vintage. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay. And now let's talk quickly about the Madcap. Madcap is a nickname that Anthony Gismondi gave to Bill as a mad scientist.
Bill told me. Yeah.
I had that too, because I was spoken with Richard De Silva, and Richard knows Bills very well. He knows Anthony very well, and we had he's like, oh yeah, that's a true story. So the madcap, we you went out and you offered us three different vintage, with 16, 17, and 18. What's the philosophy behind the madcap?
So the Madcap was the sibling to the Two Hoots. So the Madcap was Merlot focused, whereas the Two Hoots is Cab focused. So it was Merlot with Cab Franc and Cabernet Sauvignon bringing up the rounding of it. So it was that real show of, again, the Merlot in our vineyard too. So but the blending, so that real Bordeaux style. Again, not as much aging time, about 16 to 18 months, usually bottled in the spring after the two harvests before.
Yeah, so a year and so like 60, yeah, okay,
Exactly.
a year and so after.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and but it's a more of a value proposition too. I mean, like we're looking at a $35 to $40 wine instead of what you have on the top end.
That's right. And not a lot of new French oak, more neutral French oak as well. So yeah, it's a great expression of Merlot dominant wine coming from the portfolio for sure.
I have to say 2016 knocked my socks off. I mean, for that price, it's mind-boggling.
Yeah. The 2016 vintage was spectacular. Everything I have had from 2016 has been just blow your mind good. Yeah.
So 16 was a little cooler than 15, right?
Yeah. And 15 was quite hot. We had fires in 15 as well. It was a tough year. It was before I moved to the Okanagan, so I can't speak to it personally. I just know from the stories of what it was. 16 was a little bit cooler. But there's a beautiful elegance and roundness that I find to the 16s that I think is really, really lovely. Yeah,
no, I think it's almost like where power meets elegance.
Exactly.
Right? Because there's still some power in the 16. And 17 is more to structure. For what I found, these are really structured wine. Wow, well, that's awesome. Okay, so that's the madcap. 3 vintage, 16, 17, and 18. All Merlot dominant. And let's finish it off by the amazing iconoclast. We have 15, 16, 17. You were kind enough to give us a special pricing. So member pricing for Carl's Wine Club members, which is incredible. Like it's amazing for the quality of these wines. 95 points for the 15. That was my number 3 wine of the year, like I mentioned. And there you go here. And I think Mira can correct me if I'm wrong. I think I gave 94 points to the 16. Mira, what was my final score on the 16?
Oh, it was 94, 94, 95.
There you go. First, I think it's the first time ever that we have such a high score like that for a mini vertical. But what I wanted to talk about is your take on Cabernet Sauvignon. That's why I wanted to close the show on that. Because, I mean, 20 years ago, lots of critics from around the world said, this grape varietal will never do well in Canada. This is not possible. We're too far up north. And we don't have enough degree day, and this and that. And Bill said, fuck you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Something like that. But maybe not fuck you, but something like that.
Probably exactly what he said. It was definitely, he grew it, he planted it, and he said, this is going to be my grape. This is the king of our vineyard. This is what we're going to do. And it grows beautifully. In that picture, again, on the eastern, it gets that early morning sun. We being on our site, it's just, we get so much sunlight, so much movement. It really does ripen beautifully on the Fairview site. So we're excited to get it back. I've just never had wines. I hear it all the time from the iconoclasts. People say, "Wow, put this up against, name your top cabs out of wherever," and the value, the profile, the strength, all of those things can go toe to toe, and that it's a special grape varietal, and it grows beautifully on our property, and just giving it the love and the care and the attention, and really making it shine in the best way, which is just the way that it's going to shine, and not messing with it is pretty spectacular.
That's a very famous video.
That's the first time he tasted the iconoclast. You can tell he's happy.
I remember. You could hear my laugh in the background. I apologize.
Yeah, totally.
No. It's part. Danielle, it's part of our story. That's part of our story. The laugh in the background was the very best of that video. So the treatment of the iconoclast, usually you're 80% new oak ballpark, depending on the vintage, 32 to 36 months of aging.
Exactly. So it's put away. It's okay. These barrels are going to be kind of watched for the iconoclast, and when we're doing samples for everything else, it's like, okay, this is really good, this can last another year, let's leave this in the barrel for another year, and we'll see it in the next go. So yeah, it's a labor of love there. It's a fantastic wine, and that extra age in barrel, just like you said, I mean, the 17 is like a baby, right?
Oh yeah. And to me, there's one thing that I look for a wine at that price point. It's texture.
Yeah.
I mean, texture, yes, length and complexity, but
Yeah.
I always look for that silky texture. And iconoclast is just so rich, so textural that, I mean, it is, yes, absolutely worth every single penny of that wine. I mean, you've aged it for people. You put all of the care with one of the absolute best site for Cabernet Sauvignon in the country. So thank you so much. Oh my God, that is fun.
Yes, so good. We'll let you go. We kept you way longer, but I wanted to ask you one last question. I said I'd put you in the hot seat. I could ask you a couple, but one in a nutshell. What's the biggest lie you hear about Canadian wine?
Oh, gosh. It's so hard to say what the biggest lie is about Canadian wine, because a lot of people that aren't in Canada don't even know that we make wine still. It's such a heartbreaking thing to see, you know. I'm so grateful to some of those producers who are going out into the world and saying, hey, guess what? We make wine too. We're not just a tiny little blurb in somebody's WSET book, and you know that, oh yeah, they make wine in Canada as well. I think that the growers, the dedication, the love and care that Canadian winemakers and growers put into their wines is spectacular. You know, I'm in so much awe of everybody, and I think that there are so many wonderful people doing so many top wines. So not being able to age a Canadian wine, that's crazy talk.
It is sure crazy talk.
It not being able to make, I don't know, like a good Syrah. Are you kidding me? Sev makes some of the best Syrah I've ever tasted. You know,
so
like
you're talking about Séverine Lepin at Le Vieux Pin, right?
Exactly. You know, like there's the wines that are coming out of Canada. I think with the care and the attention and the love are spectacular, and should be on a world stage.
There you go. Now we're going to start to bring you.
And you know what? One of the biggest lies we hear about Canadian wine is that you can't ripen big reds in Canada.
Yes, exactly.
And I think that every one of these reds that we have talked about tonight can completely dispel that myth for people.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Okay, I love that. It smells so good. It smells so rich. I can smell the oak. I love it. I love it. This is a 2016 Iconoclast.
The 22 bear.
Yeah. Oh, you got the bear in your. Okay. I might have to put a special order on the side during the feature. I think Mira, going to be for us down the road, because that wine is way too spectacular.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Danielle, I have to say, I was in touch with the One Drop Foundation in Las Vegas.
Yes.
So I mentioned your name, I mentioned your brand, and the owner of l'Académie du Vin in Toronto, Mark Nadeau, is a good friend with the anyway, he knows a lot about Canadian.
With the former editor of Decanter, Stephen Spurrier. That's
wow.
Yeah. Right?
So anyway, when I mentioned Fairview Cellars would be a possible add-on to the tasting in Las Vegas, he said, "Are you serious?" So that was it. So I'm we're gonna keep that talk going. But I mentioned your name, and some people very high up there at the foundation were really, really excited to.
So in a nutshell, I got to say, it's not the best time for Canadians to be going down to Las Vegas to pour Canadian wine, because everyone's like, boycott U.S. things right now. There's tension. Yeah. But you know what? The person that runs One Drop Foundation is Guy Laliberté, who is a Canadian. And you know what else? It's so rewarding to see the reactions of people who come from all over the world to taste wines at this event. And have them taste Canadian wine for the first time, and not just say, you mean they actually make wine in Canada,
right?
But to be completely blown away by it, and to say, I'm tasting this next to a wine that's 5 or 10 times the price.
Yeah.
And it's standing up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty spectacular.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I'm excited. I've had such a wonderful time with you guys. I really appreciate everything that you guys do for Canadian wines and bringing that spotlight to what's happening across the country. It's really nice to see how much happens out in Ontario, because we're so shielded from that too here in BC, and being able to have that whole country approach is really spectacular. So thank you so much for that.
Danielle, I want to do something for you. I would love to. You have kids, we have kids. How about we have a dinner, and I would like to serve some Ontario wine for you.
Yes.
So you can start discovering a little bit what they do on the other side of the country.
I would love that. That would be spectacular.
I think we should do that. Some Cap Franc, some Chardonnay, some good Cap Sauv as well from Niagara on the Lake. So maybe that could be something fun. Maybe Dermot and I can cook for you, the ladies, and make a little something fun.
Our 3 kids are almost the same age as Danielle and Dermot's 3 kids. So that's a little bit of a sign.
It's meant to be.
Yes.
Absolutely. I greatly appreciate your time. Say hi to Dermot for us. And thank you very much for joining us.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And thank you to everybody who watched and hung out with us. It was a lot of fun. I think I put it on our Facebook page. I don't know. I'm the IT person. I'm not good at things, but
you did.
Okay, good.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks again, you guys.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Yeah, you
have
too.
a great night. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. We are so spoiled in so many ways. Angeli, thank you for the comment. We totally agree. Like, that's what we love to do. Small town family-owned wineries like Fairview Cellars doing absolutely world-class stuff that hopefully will be pouring their wine, like the Iconoclast next to, Opus One and some of these big international wines. And people are going, what? This is from Oliver, BC.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Are they in Oliver or Soyuz? Closer to Osoyoos?
Oliver. They're in Oliver.
There
Yeah,
you
yeah,
go.
yeah,
There you
yeah, yeah. They're in
go.
Oliver.
Yeah. So thank you so much to Danielle. You know what? We gotta
Mira,
go. It's 6:20.
I want
Yeah.
you to go back to the decorum.
Okay. It's the
I
one
had
with the D on it.
you got that right. You get that right.
Tell me. Oh, I get chocolate on the nose.
I
a
know,
bit.
right? I know. It's dark
Mm.
chocolate with like some cigar box and that like
Mm.
liqueur de crème de
Mm.
cassis. Holy shit, that wine is evolving in a very beautiful
Wow.
way. And like I mentioned to Daniel, keep in mind this wine was open a week ago, 7 days ago. This wine was in the car to come all the way to Cache Creek, and the bottle flipped. And that bottle was in the bottom of the car the whole drive. Like,
Which, if you don't know, if you need to age a wine, like you need to get it like a few years of age, leave it in the trunk of your car for a couple days, and all that vibration is going to totally like make it seem
that's
like
a
it's
Sandra Oldfield. This is a Sandra
yeah.
Oldfield trick. Yeah.
Yep. She caught
Yeah.
us
So
on
that
it.
decorum right now is absolutely amazing. And
Yeah.
I have a good news for you. I have a good news for you.
What's the good news for me?
There's a little bit left.
Oh, that's great news.
Now,
it.
so okay, before we shut it off, let's talk about the member pricing, because it's the first time
Right.
that's our launch of the member pricing. If you're a collector,
Yeah. So in the comments, you guys, if you're tuning in on the Carl's Wine Club feed, I'm just gonna drop the link to our tasting notes in the comments. And the reason is because you can see everything on there. There's an order sheet. There's everything goes straight to Fairview. Fairview ships it out. Danielle's incredibly fast. Like she's on it. So people that ordered yesterday are gonna probably see their wines starting as soon as tomorrow.
And she's using temperature control as well
with ATS.
right?
So
which was a big problem in the last couple feature for us. We have wine froze coming here, and like
doesn't happen with ATS very often, so that's fantastic. But yeah, so tasting notes and order link is now in the comments. So what I wanted to say is, if you are a collector member, so this is VIP Unlimited, was kind of our founding membership for this. It's a paid tier of Carl's Wine Club. You pay an annual fee, which is a fraction of the cost of what you would pay for like a subscription to Wine Spectator magazine, for instance. It's $2.99 for a year for the collector membership. If you got in as a VIP founding member, it was even less. And just on this feature alone, you can save about $92 on the Iconoclast 3-pack. And you can save, I think it's $32 on the 6-pack, on the Discovery 6-pack.
Yeah.
So fantastic member pricing, as well as free shipping if you are one of the collector members. So that's great. And if you're not a collector member, it's free to join Carl's Wine Club and still get access to these incredible special releases, these verticals, and get heavily reduced, like subsidized flat rate $20 shipping. Because let me tell you a secret, shipping has gone up in price. Some of these 6 and 12 packs to ship from the Okanagan to, let's say, Ontario, sometimes it's like $60.
Oh, Mira, so we're at around $85 a case of 12 these days.
Crazy, right? It's just gone so far up. So they're subsidizing that for you guys, and you can get it for $20, which, let's face it, these days it's like going to going on a Costco run with your gas in the car. So it's a really great flat rate for the shipping, and free for 6 or more bottles if you are a collector member. So yes, ATS is the best. These guys know. Yeah. We've still had issues because sometimes in remote communities and when the temperature gets really, really cold, that's why we hold stuff back to make sure it gets there safely. But ATS has been fantastic, and the weather's cooperating. So it is time. If you were like, let's try some world-class Canadian wine, now is a great time to do it. We have access till Monday to these releases from Fairview, and it's just a great time to give it a shot. Thank you, Janine. Great to see you. Yeah. Okay, so what else is coming up in the club? We have a Chardonnay insider guide that was originally scheduled for this Sunday. I've contacted everyone. We're going to move it to the following Sunday. If you're a collector member, this is a free perk. So this is new, but a new free perk for collector members. So you can join us on these insider guides. It's going to be not this Sunday, but the following. Valentine's has put a kink in the plans this Sunday, but we'll send an email about it. We also have a Tasting Thursday event that will be announced very soon with Bella Terra Vineyards in Niagara. More details coming on that soon. It was originally for February 19th. Again, this week coming up seems to be an issue for a lot of people, so we are moving that forward a bit, but we will announce the date and the winemaker's selection that's going to be available, and those are so much fun. It's a Zoom night. You get to actually ask questions of the winemaker, and it's pretty epic. So
and we have actually we're gonna make some extremely rare wines available. So yeah, it's amazing, and to have access now to the Tasting Thursday with the winemaker on Zoom. It's also a collector members only, right?
Yeah. So it's going to be a lot, or by invitation. So a lot of you
or
will
by
be getting
invitation.
a special invite to that and be able to still join us. But yes, it's going to be so much fun, and we're so looking forward to all these things. And if you have not yet tried Fairview Cellars, or if you have not tried the special releases,
Wow.
This is
Wow.
one to try, you guys. This is one to try for sure.
Wow.
For sure. It was great to see everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Hey, Canadian wine lovers, Carl's Wine Club members, everyone across the country, and you, Mira Boucher, thank you so much. And we'll see you next time. Cheers.
Cheers.